Well, good morning again, Daniel Valdez again. It's a pleasure and honor to talk to you. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Yes, highly anticipated cherry on, according to y'all's messages. We'll talk about Bedford. We'll talk about Webster. We'll talk about those two contests and look at what happened this past weekend. And then we'll put that aside and we'll get ready to continue with Perpetual October. So let's start off. First of all, let's start off by thanking you for tuning into BOALive.tv and for tuning into the live blog. I saw people pulling that up in the stands, which was really, really interesting because I would start talking and then people, hey, I know that voice. Hey, what's up? How are y'all doing? I love interactions like that. It's been really fun. Webster was fantastic. Thank you all so much for your support over there at that event. It was really, really great. Great to talk to people that I've talked to for a super long time, and it's great to meet, always great to meet new people and whatnot. Again, fantastic stuff at Webster. Awesome stuff at Bedford as well. So let's go over the results. We'll talk about Bedford first, and then we'll talk a little bit about the Webster contest. Since I was there, I can give you a first-person account of what exactly happened. I know everybody's a little anxious about about what's going to be talked about and whatnot. I'll put timestamps in the description so that way you understand, like, you want to just listen to the Bedford one, you want to listen to the Webster one, fine, whatever, cool. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. So without further ado, let's go to Bedford, Texas, and congratulations to the now back-to-back Bands of America Dallas Mid-Cities Regional Champion with an 87.60 Hebron High School, of course. 3 times in a row they won this event. It must be a pattern or something like that. Congratulations to you all. It's amorphous. It's fantastic. I have the shirt, and it was awesome. So, obviously this is classic Hebron stuff with just a million notes and sounding fantastic, and it's barely even October. So, classic stuff from them as always. Let's go over the results. Rock Hill in 12th place. Congratulations to you all with a 76. South Lake Carroll in 11th place. Aledo in 10th. LD Bell in 9th. Keller in 8th place. Lone Star High School in 7th place. And I tell you all they were going to bring something. They certainly did. They're in 7th place. Waxahachie sounding fantastic already. They were in 6th. Timber Creek in 5th place, Wakeland in 4th place, Coppell clean as ever, already in 3rd place, Flower Mound in 2nd place with an 87.30, and then Hebron High School 87.6. Very close contest. I think that was something people have been talking about, definitely some murmurs in the stands. I get it. It's close. It's Louisville ISD. What do you expect? Of course, everybody's wondering where Marcus was. Well, they're doing something a little bit different. They are going to be at the Prosper Regional later this week on Saturday, and we'll talk about that because that's going to be probably one of the most interesting contests in the state of Texas this year with just who's coming and out-of-state participants and all sorts of stuff. It's going to be really, really quite the spectacle to watch and listen to later this weekend. So Bedford, again, what do we have here? Of course, let's go over the finals results. Music and visual went to Hebron. General effect was tied. Hebron and Flower Mound tied for general effect in finals. Over the prelims results, fan favorite Crum High School, Class A champions in 1st place. Class 2A Argyle already starting their campaign to Grand Nationals in style. 1st place for Argyle in Class 2A. Grapevine in 2nd. Lovejoy 3rd. Argyle took music and general effect, and Grapevine took the visual performance in class. Class 3A Wakeland sweeps it. Class 3A, Wakeland in 1st place, Aledo in 2nd, Lone Star in 3rd, and then in Class 4A, Hebron 1st place, Flower Mound 2nd, and Coppell in 3rd place. Hebron won music and general effect, and then tied in visual with Flower Mound High School. So we had a couple of ties at this event. I'm not surprised. Both programs are extremely good. One of the things I love about this contest is you have these little pockets of groups that kind of go together, like the programs that missed 13, 14, 15, they were like super close to being into finals, probably within a point. So again, another hotly contested event. This contest is like the programs that miss barely miss. It's really interesting to watch that. You have these pockets here. You got Hebron and Flower Mound, kind of having their little pocket. Then you have Coppell and Wakeland have their little pocket, and then Timber Creek and Waxahachie have their little pocket, and then Bell and Aledo have their thing, and then South Lake and Rock Hill had their little their little dance there as well. So you have these little pockets where you almost pair up with a buddy, and it's almost like you're competing. It's like the contest comes down to like one or two programs in that pocket. It's really fun to watch. So congratulations to everybody who was at Bedford. Again, just a fantastic event. The organizers there are really, really great. So thanks to everybody who shouted out the live blog there. We did do the live blog live in person there at Bedford. So thanks for supporting us at live.txbands.com. That really means a lot. So congratulations again to Hebron High School. Of course, classic stuff, sounding fantastic already. It'll be a hit and continue to be a hit all the way through the end of the season. Flower Mound doing their thing. And of course, Marcus was not at this event, which makes things a little bit more interesting because usually you have all three Louisville ISD programs there, and you can kind of, the numbers nerds can get together and kind of crunch everything and try to figure out how the rest of the season's going to go. But when you get those three together, you never know how it's going to go because they're so talented and they're so good at what they do no matter where they're performing. So a little bit of a wrinkle in here to say the least. So it's going to make things really, really cool later on down the season. So congratulations to everybody at Bedford. Congratulations to everybody, and congratulations to Hebron High School. Now, let's talk about the contest I was at. Let's talk about Webster. Let's talk about BOA South Houston. Let's go over those results. Folks, congratulations. The winner of this contest and new Bands of America South Houston regional champion, the Pride of Pearland, comes out with a performance for the ages and gets the title. Congratulations to them with an 86.60. They are the BOA South Houston regional champions. Let's go over the results. In finals, Churchill Fulshire in 12th place, Friendswood in 11th, Dawson in 10th, Seven Lakes in 9th, Foster in 8th place, Dickinson in 7th, Cy Fair in 6th, Claudia Taylor Johnson in 5th, Klein Oak in 4th, Bridgeland in 3rd, Ronald Reagan in 2nd, and then the Pride of Pearland High School, the final program to go on. They come out with the regional championship. Let's go over the finals results with that. Reagan won music, Pearland won visual and general effect in finals. For the prelims results, Class 2A, West Harrison from Mississippi. Congratulations to them. Came all the way over from Mississippi and performed very, very well. They were the Class 2A champions, sweeping their captions. Class 3A, Friendswood was in first place. Clearbrook was in second, and Clear Lake was in third place. Friendswood swept the captions in Class 3A. And then in Class 4A, in prelims, Reagan was first, Bridgeland was second, and Pearland was in third place. Reagan swept the captions in Class 4A for prelims. So, everybody wants to know, did they get the results right? And the answer is yes. How do I know that? Because the results are printed on the page. So let me tell you what I mean by that. I'm a big fan, I guess you could say. I'm a big advocate of the performance. I am a big advocate that if you go out and you perform your show at a very, very high level, that you should be rewarded for that. We need to understand that the performer's mind, as well as the fan's mind, really should be focusing on prelims is one contest, finals is another contest. I always talked about this. I've talked about it for 7 years on this podcast. I've talked about this 20 years doing live blog and talking with people and trying to be an advocate for the marching arts. You have to look at each performance as its own separate thing. Now, can you carry momentum into another performance? Yes, you can. That is absolutely a thing. Can you carry momentum from contest to contest? Yes, that is absolutely a thing. But at the end of the day, the performance is the performance. What you put out on the field is what's going to be evaluated, not what you put on earlier in the contest, and it's not what is going to be presented later on down the season. You can't evaluate those things when you are in the present. So that's what I mean by, these results being as accurate as they possibly can. Pearland went out there, and you could just feel the energy. It was just different. Yeah, the crowd was behind them. Yeah, they had a lot of support from the parents. That's great, and that helps too. That helps as a performer. Hearing your parents and hearing the boosters and hearing alumni really support you, that helps a lot. That keeps your energy up. But I've also seen cases where there's too much energy and then you lose focus and you're just riding all on emotion, and you can't. I've talked about this before. There is a balance between the emotional aspect of the performance and the analytical portion of the performance. You got to balance those things out. If you balance them out correctly, you can make really awesome things happen on the field. And that's exactly what happened on Saturday night. Pearland went out there, and you could just feel it. There was just something different. They were hitting sets that they weren't hitting in prelims. They were hitting musical phrases that they weren't hitting in prelims. It was a big step up. It was a significant step up from what they gave in prelims. And prelims was great too. You also have to understand the product that they are performing. Pines of Rome is a piece that all the judges know, that everybody knows, and that I know personally because that's one of my favorite symphonic pieces ever. I listen to it in the car all the time. When you play pieces like that, and you're able to present it just like it was written on the page for a concert band, and you're able to make it sound like it's supposed to sound, that pays off. It really does. Now, the challenge here is you got to make it sound like it was off the page. You have to make it sound that good, because there's not a lot of room for error in that piece. There's not. That's why a lot of programs don't do that on the field. It's hard enough to do that on the stage, but to put that on the field is an even greater challenge, because you're dealing with multiple responsibilities with body movements and environmental challenges of the percussion being on one side or the brass being on the other, or listening environments, responsibilities, that sorts of stuff your directors talk about all the time. When you're able to present that in a way that is at a high level, you're going to get rewarded for it. That's what happened with Pearland this weekend. I'm going to give them all the credit in the world. They deserve it. And a lot of these programs deserve it. I mean, look, I understand. I get how some people can say, well, the same programs make finals all the time and it doesn't matter and blah, blah, blah. Okay, if that's the case, look at this list. There are plenty of programs that are experiencing a level of success that programs have never experienced before. So that kind of washes that argument out. Churchill Frobisher played out in prelims. They really went for it, and they got rewarded with a final spot. Foster, same thing. Foster keeps making early regional finals in the Houston area. Do you know how difficult that is? Houston area is very, very, very good. Dickinson had a fantastic performance, and I was told about that this last week, and they were great. I love Sci-Fair Show. Yeah, it is so cool. Such a neat concept, and I can listen to that drum line all day. And everybody was great. Friendswood has such a quirky show. It's going to be a hit at Grand Nationals. Dawson does their thing. They sound fantastic, no matter what. Seven Lakes brings a power and brings a size to the football field that is really cool to watch. CTJ is one of the most resilient programs this season. With electronics issues and dealing with the heat and dealing with the humidity and everything, they just don't stop. They're they're very resilient performers, and my hat's off to them. Klein Oak is experiencing one of the best seasons they've ever had. And I talked about this on the blog. They're ready to bust out, because they do everything at a high level. They're doing stuff in the ballad with woodwinds at a high register, and it's in tune, and it sounds great, and the breath control is awesome. Everybody else is doing a fantastic job too. Bridgeland, you could tell that is a Nationals product. They keep it up, they're going to be performing a lot at Nationals. Reagan is classic Reagan. They got the design. They know how to utilize the space, the space on the field. They play well. They do everything well. Pride of Pearland brought something else that night. When the lights are on, and I've talked about this before, performing performing in clutch time, performing under the lights, that is also as valuable of a skill as, playing technical passages or producing warm tones. It's just as important, because I can teach you how to play your horn. I can teach you how to move. I can teach you how to move and play your horn at the same time. But when the lights are on and it's 10 o'clock at night and you're tired and your mental fortitude is starting to slip, what are you going to do? When the lights are on, how are you going to handle that moment? It's up to you. A lot of that has to do with training. A lot of that is just being confident in what you're doing. And you don't get that right away. You don't get it just by turning on a light switch. That doesn't just happen on show day. That's through proper training. That's through rehearsal technique. Getting all that stuff down. Having done it before on the field. And now you're able to perform this. Now you're able to take what you know already. It's like, all I got to do is just perform this consistently every time. That's all I have to do. And that's why you have that list in front of you. That's why you have all those folks at Webster. They all deserved final spots. All of them. They were great. Even the programs that missed finals, there were some fantastic soloists on Saturday. Just mind-blowing stuff. It was a talent-rich event. It really was. It was hard to pick 12. It's hard to put them in order. Yes, it's a difficult task to do. It's very difficult. I don't envy the judges in the least. The reason Pearland won that night is because everything really came together. You just saw and felt confident. It just felt like a confident product, and they were able to execute their show. And they're not done yet. That's the scary part. They're not done yet at all. And a lot of these programs stopped like just a little bit past halfway through their show, which is really exciting because these programs are good already. Now give them a couple of weeks to learn a little bit more drill or to clean. State's going to be 6A State is going to be excellent. 6A State's going to be on fire this year. Really, really on fire. Because you have all these programs that are starting to step up. They're starting to figure it out. They understand that there's a performance, that the skill of performing is crucial. You have to have that, no matter what the conditions are, no matter how hot it is or humid or whatever. You have to have that skill. You have that skill, you're going to give yourself a chance to get another performance in. You're going to give yourself a chance to climb. And that, you can't discount that at all. So fantastic job by everybody at the Webster contest. That was really an enjoyable finals. That was a really, really cool finals. The energy in the crowd was great. It was such a good night. I did see a little bit of drizzle in the sky halfway through prelims or halfway through finals, and I was hoping it would stay away, and it did. So thankfully that happened, and then you all can't blame me for it raining every time I go to an outdoor contest. So congratulations to everybody. Fantastic weekend at Webster in Bedford. What a fantastic, awesome, great superlative after superlative weekend it was. Now we get to start. We got one more. We got a couple of more, but we got one more. We got a lone contest in Prosper this weekend. We'll talk about it later on this week. UIL is coming up. Region contest is coming up. Area contest is coming up. State contest is coming up. It is perpetual October. It is almost, we're getting to the point where everything's downhill, and you better have your product ready, because if you don't, I promise you, some other programs are chomping at the bit. Programs are hungry now. And that is a great motivator when it comes down to performing and getting to places and achieving results that you've never achieved before. So get after this. Keep working. My hat is off to you all. Thank you all so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.